Here we have the 4-hour price chart for Amazon.com Incorporated, stock ticker AMZN. So as we can see here, the share price has managed to make a bit of a recovery here ever since the stock posted its prior near-term lows, coming in at 151.61. Of course, this was the price low that posted on the August 5 trading session, and this followed a period of very substantial price gains that actually saw prices reach above the $200 level. So if we're using this dominant price move here as the most influential price trend that is currently affecting shares, we can see that the share price could start to face some important resistance levels coming in at the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of this recent trending move higher. But we will be looking at some specific price zones here in this video so that we can determine whether or not these resistance levels are likely to be overcome near term and develop some trading strategy outlooks here going forward. So as we can see here, if we drill into the price chart a bit, we can see that near-term resistance has started to develop right at this 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. Essentially, this comes in at right around 182.34. And as we can see here, the chart pattern itself has posted a doji candlestick formation as share prices moved into this area. In addition to this, we have all four of the major exponential moving averages coming into contact with this price region as well. So essentially, we have the 20 period, 50 period, 200 period, and 100 period EMAs, all focusing on this same price zone. At the moment, things are starting to flatten out a bit, as we can see here, and this is not entirely surprising, given the fact that there is a very major earnings report that is going to be released next week, specifically next Wednesday. What I'm talking about here is the NVIDIA earnings release, and this is a quarterly earnings report that is likely to have a dramatic impact, not only on the technology sector, but on the stock market as a whole. So when I talk about this, I'm referring to the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow, even the Russell is likely to experience some significant price volatility heading into this report. So as we can see here, it's not totally surprising to see the fact that that Amazon has started to sort of flatline here right around the 178 mark. There are a few different reasons for this. One would be the fact that the exponential moving average cluster currently rests in this area. We have an important Fibonacci level, Fibonacci resistance zone that comes in just overhead. And then in addition to that, we do have this major earnings report that is going to be released next week. The current expectations for NVIDIA's quarterly earnings are quite lofty. Many analysts do expect these earnings figures to come in better than expected. Currently, what we're looking for is a revenue figure indicating annual revenue growth of 125%, which is huge for a Mag 7 company, for a trillion-dollar company, multi-trillion-dollar company. And then on the other side of the equation is the EPS figure, which is expected to show earnings growth of 112%, which is also just out of this world when you're talking about a company that's as large as NVIDIA. So it's going to take a lot for NVIDIA to overcome these expectations. That doesn't mean that they can't overcome these expectations, but if they do not, or if they simply meet these expectations, or if they meet these expectations and don't provide strong guidance numbers, there is a very strong risk here that the Mag 7 and the entire market really is going to start to face some tremendous selling pressure. That doesn't mean that it couldn't come in positive. NVIDIA could blow earnings completely out of the water, and then maybe everybody experiences FOMO and wants to jump into the stock. It's possible. I just think that at this point, it's unlikely due to the fact that the expectations themselves are just so high, and it's a bit vague as far as what the market really is expecting in the guidance figures. We do have some hard numbers on the earnings and revenue side, but the guidance figures are a bit more vague and unclear. So it really does stand to reason that share prices, even in a company like Amazon, could be negatively influenced if the market isn't happy with what it hears. So currently, the levels that I'm watching above and below. At the moment, we really are looking at this 618 retracement here, which comes in right around 182.34. So we can add that in here. So this is the price level to watch to the top side. And as we can see, currently we're trading right just above 177. So we're about $5 away from this critical resistance zone. And this is something that could be overcome near term, but I do expect the market to be a bit skittish heading into next week's NVIDIA earnings. In most cases, it might seem like an unrelated company like NVIDIA. I mean, they produce graphics processors. These are gaming cards. Let's be completely honest about what's going on here for the most part. I mean, it's also server AI hardware and things like that. But for the most part, this is a completely different business when we're comparing a company like Amazon. And normally, you wouldn't think that an Nvidia earnings report would mark a critical risk for Amazon. However, I do not believe that that's the case here. Overall, we're starting to look at a bit of a head and shoulders pattern on this price chart. You can sort of look at this as being the left shoulder. Of course, the head coming in at roughly 201.20, and then you do have this right shoulder here coming in at 190 again. That's also coming. That level also posts at a very important Fibonacci level. That's the 786 retracement. Essentially, that's 10 cents away from the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement of this trending move lower. So there's a lot of work that would have to be done here in order to overcome both of these levels. In addition to that, you're also losing the advantage of this price gap, which had formed recently to the downside. So as you can see here, there was a major market reaction to the Amazon earnings. And this can also give you an idea of how companies have been reacting to Mag 7 megatech earnings reports. This is a major gap lower, but you could make the argument that this is an Amazon earnings report and not an NVIDIA earnings report. But here we can see that the overall reactions here have been dramatic and drastic. So I do not think that Amazon is going to be immune from the effects of the NVIDIA earnings report. This is a major critical risk ahead, and it is going to affect the entire market. So if we are able to overcome this 182.34 level, I do think that we can retest this 190.60 level. It will be very important for bullish investors to reach above this level because if we fail there again, I do think that this head and shoulders pattern starts to become a lot more obvious with this 201.20 showing as the head. And then you'd have a neckline right around 177, which is right around current levels. It might be a little bit lower than that, actually. It depends on how exactly this would start to develop. I mean, we would need to see a retest of that area before we can make those types of projections. So these are the key levels that I'm watching, and these are the key risks ahead. Here's the current market update for Amazon.com Incorporated, stock ticker AMZN. Our high-value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high-conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk-to-reward metrics that target massive, market-beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.